On YouTube, this is Jacob Varl. Today I'm going to be showing you some ways that I normally wouldn't share on video that I do alone, that I'm going to be doing with testing of my equipment for my cardio system, for you to be able to utilize these tricks and testing case scenarios for you for your own system, whether you have a wall build or you have a trunk build, a no wall build, or a small little under the seat system. These concepts that I'm going to be showing you, you'll be able to utilize for your system as well. So stay tuned throughout this video, and hopefully this might teach you some things. So this is going to be things that I do to my normal system that I'll be doing in my no wall, as I just released recently the single 10 that I have in my SUV Ford Explorer. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's see how we go. One of the most important tools that I use when it comes to cardio tools for testing purposes is I have something that I can put on Bluetooth. I prefer Bluetooth because it's an actual device that I'm able to test with certain frequencies. So this is very critical to this. You'll be able to have sweeps of frequencies that you can run on your system. So these sweeps is going to be able to show you where your peaks are, as well as, hey, this is where my peaks are changing depending on what you do to the system, as well as this can show you different output levels that your system is doing. The second device is some form of meter. So you're going to want some form of meter to do this. If you don't have a meter, it's going to be really hard to do it by ear, especially when you're going from quarter dB to half dB levels. If you're going into numerous dB increases, it's easy to notice with the ear, but without testing with numerous types of case scenarios with a meter, you're not going to really have the most efficient output out of your system. So you definitely are going to want to get a meter. I have the SSA meter. A lot of people use Termlabs as well, but just remember that the frequency responses that I use with the Bluetooth device on my iPod, plus the actual meter, is going to be how I do these tests today. So stay tuned. My vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I got my tools. Going to make sure I have my meter on. So remember, this system that I have in here is not ideal for a daily driver or somebody that doesn't have a dash, since like I had in my previous videos, but don't worry about the looks and all of that. Get the concept. So let me go ahead and turn on my vehicle. So here's what I'm going to be doing with this. Make sure I got my iPod linked to Bluetooth, and I'm going to be at the exact same volume level. So this is one critical part about this, is you want to have the exact same volume level for everything that I'm going to be doing. So let's get started. This is going to be at least a 5 to 7 minute video or longer, so we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and have my volume at 20 as my testing volume. You can choose what you want your volume level. I never would recommend doing full tilt. Normally around a third to half volume is all you need for these tests. So let me go ahead and turn on my settings for my meter on my phone. So what I'm going to be doing first is testing what I can do with my seats. So I'm going to be testing what it sounds like before I move the seats down and up as my first test. So we're going to do that in a second once I get my Bluetooth hooked up. All right, so I got my device hooked up for my decibels. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm not move my volume throughout these tests. So right now, currently, I have seats are leaning up against the box. I'm not going to move the box yet. That comes later. So I'm going to do a sweep, 30 hertz to 60 hertz, and we're going to see how this does. So one thing you got to remember too is bass knob all the way up with that volume. So let me restart. All right. And I'm not going to turn the vehicle on just because it's not necessary. You're not worried about a couple of volt differences. All right, here we go. All right, so 20 volume. So we're going to see what happens. So this is finding my peak sealed right now. So right now I'm finding out what my frequency I'm peaking at sealed. All right, so I peak at 51 hertz, so I'll go ahead and screenshot that. It's just good to screenshot so I can reference this for later, but 51 hertz, I have 113.1. So 113.1, that's what I'm going to remember. All right, so now I'm going to go outside real quick. I'm going to show you this. This is the kind of stuff that's extensive testing when it comes to doing this stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my seats down on both sides. So let me go do that real quick. and we're gonna find out how this frequency changes, as well as how, ignore all the wire if it's a little ugly, but see, I'm not gonna move the box. I'm just gonna move the seats down as my first test, and we're gonna see how it changes. All right, it's in the morning out here, so you can hear all the birds. So it's still sealed up, meter's still on. Remember 113, okay. So now I'm gonna do that test again. I don't change any volume. All right, we're gonna find out. We're gonna see how the frequency changes. And remember, you can use this concept for every system, whether you're wall or trunk, no wall, single sub, big build, fourth order, etc. All right, so we'll see how the peak changes. Before it was at 51 hertz. I have a 30 to 60 hertz sweep that I'm doing. All right. So that shows that I went up a little bit. So before it was 51 hertz, now it's 52 hertz with the seats down. So that means I know I gain on the meter with the seats down. So let me go to my pictures real quick. All right, so I've got 113.11 at 51, 113.39 at 52. So I went up one frequency, as well as I went up my decibels. So over 0.2 decibels at low volume. So keep in mind that this is low volume. High volume, you could be more decibels, you could be less decibels, it varies. But I know for sure that I am gaining on the meter by having my seats down when I meter, which is common sense to some of you guys in cardio world, but a lot of people don't realize this. So use this concept when you're testing. You could try it by ear as well, but highly recommend a meter. If you don't have a meter, you can still try it without it. So seats down. So that's my first test. Let's go to the next test. For the next test, I have my seats down because I know it's louder with seats down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and test with moving the box. So currently the box is all the way up against the back line where I can do it best. Now I'm gonna move the box back real quick. So keep in mind, guys, that this concept might not make sense for my build only, but you can utilize this for every system. Any concept, you can move your box. You can even place your port a certain way if you're in a wall build, how your subwoofers are mounted or located, where the baffles are located, how thick your baffle wall is. There's things you can do. So what I'm doing real quick is I'm moving this box back. Okay, let me set it down real quick. Move the box back, keep it aligned. All right, so I located my box back here. I moved it back more. So this is part of testing. So imagine doing this 10 times. I'm going to be doing this numerous times to see how the frequency response changes. Not just decibel level, but tuning wise, where my peaks change with frequency range. All right. The only thing is I'm doing it always sealed up on glass because that's where I want my meter to be most efficient. So that's why I test with it sealed on glass. All right. So let's get to it. Remember, 113.39. 113.39. 3.39. Let me turn this on. Get my Bluetooth hooked up. I don't touch my volume level. It's always at 20 or whatever your volume you chose. Max bass knob. Oh, sorry if it's blurry sometimes. All right, make sure I have peak hold on. We're going to do it again. So it's doing a 30 hertz to 60 hertz sweep. It's probably going to drop. I know how systems work. It's not going to be as loud, but we're going to find out. Oh. Guys, I was wrong. Nobody's perfect, so I was wrong. So now it's 53 hertz instead of 52 hertz at 114.43. All right, so let me screenshot this one. So remember, I started out with like lower decibels, and throughout this trial, I'm going to be showing you how these change. Now I'm going to move the box again. Moving the box from here to here. Now I'm going to move the box from here to the other side, and we're going to see how it changes frequency-wise. So this concept you can utilize the same way with every build. If y'all have any questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, feel free to ask. So, sorry if the camera moved. So, now we got it over on the other end. Distance is the same. So this is the thing I'm going to do next. See how the meter changes. All right. Let's go to the meter. Let's reset my meter real quick. It was 4.43. Now let's go ahead and reset it. And do it again. All right. It's quieter, you could tell. In here you can. All right, so I went down, so we know the box is more efficient on the right side than the left side. So 4.43, we don't want to keep that one because it's not louder. We went to 4.43, which is the loudest we got so far. Remember, this isn't max output. This is just testing. Now we're going to go to the next one. Now, I knew the box is louder on the right side, well, my right, but before I had the box about 6 inches from the back panel. Forget the wood, just the concept. Now I brought it back to about 1.5 feet, 2 foot difference. So the length difference, but the spacing wise is the same. So now we're gonna see. Seats are still down because we know it's louder with seats down. Most builds are always louder seats down, majority of the time. So always try that one as well. All right, remember, just because you don't have a meter, you can still try this stuff, but a meter helps a lot. We're gonna do it again. Reset it. 4.43. Do 30 hertz to 60 hertz sweep. The reason I'm doing sweep, by the way, guys that are wondering, is because the frequency can change and you want to do the exact same repetitious change every time. You don't want to do anything outside of the change, so that way there's no differences. 4.43 is what we're looking for. Anything higher than it. All right, 4.43. So we know that now it drops 2 hertz frequencies, 1 or 2 hertz frequency drop, but it's not as loud. So now we're gonna do our final test real quick before I end this video. So now I'm gonna do my last one real quick to confirm. So I'm gonna move it back to where it was, but a little bit farther closer to the hatch. So before it was about 1 foot, 6 inches from it. So let me move this real quick, even closer. We're going to find out how the results change. It should be close to the same. So what I did here, guys, in this video is show you guys placement of your enclosure plus some things you can do to the seat to show you different results. All right, so that's pretty close. It seems really close and stupid back there, but if I gained almost a whole dB from here to there, it looks dumb, but hey, this gives me more output. It gives me more pressure containment in the back, which makes sense. So now we're going to find out real quick how it does. And that'll be the end of the video for this testing video. Be sure to subscribe. This is Jacob Viral. So let's do our last test real quick. Reset it. 30 to 60 hertz. It should be close to the 4.43. It'd probably be a little less because it's closer, but we'll find out real quick. It's already quieter. All right, so that's it for the tests. So you get the concept today. I hope you guys learned something. Whether you have a meter or not, best way to invest in one. You can gain numerous decibels, which means louder output, louder system in the long run. All I did today in this test was test with the seats up and down, and then test moving my box 4 or 5 different variations to see where frequency hertz changed. So from start to finish, just in summary to end this video, I went from 0.3 to 0.4.43. So I gained about 1.25 dB just in testing my box location and my seat location at low volume. So stay tuned for more footage tests on other things that I'm going to be doing, as well as, hey, full tilt metering with a score soon. So you'll get to see how loud this system can get with a single 10 soon. I'll see you on the next video. Jacob Viral out.